Hello and welcome to Today in African History for the 18th of July. So today, as you can see from the picture, the thumbnail here features good old Madiba Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. So what happened on this day? I'm sure you heard that from the previous video. If you saw my video yesterday, I'm sure you know that it's Nelson Mandela's posthumous birthday today. For those of you who are here for the first time, if you're a returning visitor, welcome to this channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet or liked the video or shared the video, please do so, that is if you do like the video. But watch till the end and share, like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell as well so that you receive updates of my video uploads. So let's get cracking with the events that have happened on this day in African history. We will start, of course, with good old Nelson Mandela. So Nelson Mandela was born on this day, July 18th. The year, of course, was 1918. So if Nelson Mandela had lived, he would have been 105 years old today. So Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa, born 1818 in the settlement of Mvezo in Umtata, then a part of South Africa's Cape province. He was given the forename Rolihlahla, which in Xhosa means troublemaker. I'm sure he was troublemaker for those who insisted that the apartheid regime would continue. But in later years, he went by the clan name Madiba. So it's a happy posthumous birthday to Nelson Rolihlahla Madiba Mandela, born on this day, July 18th, in the year 1918. Also on this day, staying with good old Nelson Mandela, it's Nelson Mandela International Day, also known as Mandela Day. It is a yearly international holiday celebrated on the 18th of July. So this is the day, of course, that Nelson Mandela was born. The first UN Mandela Day was observed on this day in 2010, after the day was formally designated by the United Nations in November 2009. On July 18, 2009, so a few months before the formal designation of this day as Mandela Day, some organizations had already started commemorating Mandela Day. Such was the influence and power of this man. Such was the love that the world had for this man. A man who wasn't bitter after being in prison for 27 years. So he spent about a third of his life incarcerated. He comes out of prison, he's voted into power as president. He stayed for just one term. He says he wouldn't be standing for re-election, bowed out gracefully, and is remembered today the world over as a man with a great heart. I've never seen this man frown. He was always cheerful, always happy. Something must have happened in that prison that transformed Nelson Mandela to the man he was when he came out of prison, and the man who he remained until his death. So again, Nelson Mandela Day today. I hope we have learned from Nelson Mandela that, holding resentment to people who have done you wrong, or holding resentment for people who have done you wrong, does not do you any good. It could lead to health problems, So let's learn from him. Let's learn from Nelson Mandela and unite as Africans all over the world. It doesn't mean that because we're Africans, we should dislike people from other parts of the world. We just want to make sure that our continent moves forward and has its place in the Committee of Nations. Okay, so also on this day, it's all about Nelson Mandela this week. So on his 80th birthday, Nelson Mandela marries Graça Machel in 1998. Mandela met Graça Machel, the widow of former Mozambican leader Samora Machel, soon after being released from prison. Graça Machel is well known internationally as an advocate for women's and children's rights, in addition to her involvement in the Mozambican liberation movement. She also oversaw the first United Nations research on the effects of war on children. So this was the day that Nelson Mandela got married to Graça Machel, and it was on his 80th birthday. Imagine that, an 80-year-old man. Look at him looking very proud and happy that he had found the love of his life. Okay, so also on this day, the year was 1988, Emma Chukwugozim Obi was born. She is recognized in the professional world by her stage name Emma Nyra, Nyra spelled with a Y. She is a Nigerian musician, actress, model, and songwriter who was born in the United States. Emma Nyra terminated her recording deal with Made Men Music Group in 2014. Emma Nyra cited abuse with physical and verbal force as her reason. So this is Emma Nyra, or Emma Chukwugozim Obi, born on this day in 1988. Nigerian musician, actress, model, and songwriter. Also, on this day in 1982, this guy here, who is called Shadrach Kabango, was born in 1982. July 18th, of course, better known as Shad or Shad K. He is a Canadian alternative hip-hop recording artist and broadcaster. He received the 2011 Juno Award for Rap Recording of the Year, and 4 of his albums have been nominated for the Polaris Music Prize. In addition to hosting the Peabody Award-winning and internationally acclaimed documentary series Hip Hop Evolution on HBO Canada and Netflix, Shad was the host of Q on CBC Radio 1 from 2015 to 2016. Also on this day, during a fight, now let's see, Herman Charles Bosman, a South African writer and journalist, shoots and kills his stepbrother David Russell on this day in 1926. He was imprisoned for 4.5 years from the age of 21. So this is Herman Charles Bosman, South African writer and journalist, who shot and killed his stepbrother David Russell on this day in 1926. That's very, very sad. Last but not least, on this day, this beautiful lady here, Shudufhadzo Musida, born in 1996, is a South African model and beauty pageant title holder. She was crowned Miss South Africa in the year 2020. She is the second Limpopo province resident to obtain the title. The first was Bokang Mojane. She represented South Africa in Miss World 2022 and is the first title holder whose native tongue is Venda. So that's it, folks, for today's Today in African History. So we end with this beautiful lady, Shudufhadzo Musida. If I pronounce it wrongly, South Africans from the Venda-speaking tribe of South Africa, correct me. So that's it for Today in African History. Join us tomorrow for another edition of Today in African History. So tomorrow is going to be July 19th. Do not forget to make the date with us. For those of you who haven't liked the video, shared the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell, what are you waiting for? Thanks for your support. Bye for now.